What's up guys, back with another lively up yourself video. This week I'm going to be looking at how you can liven up a vocal sample. So I've got this track going here. And I've got this vocal sample here that I've just chopped up out of an R&B track.
Just you, it's just us.
So with the track, so first things first, just get it sitting right with the rest of the elements in the track. I'm just going to send it to some reverb, which I've got on send A. And I've got a delay on send B, on send D, even. Okay, so it's sounding good. Rhythmically it fits with the rest of the track, and obviously it's in key, but yeah, it's sounding a bit airy fairy, a bit tinsely, a bit too nice for this track. So first thing I'm going to do is, in this Melder production suite, I'm going to go to my pitch shift and pitch shift folder even, and get this M auto pitch and stick this over the top of the vocal. Now what this is an auto tune plugin, so along the lines of Antares auto tune or the Waves tune or auto tune or whatever it's called. Does the same thing more or less. So in this section here, in the scale section, I'm going to click on minor, and I'm going to click on B because my track's in B minor. And now you can see on the keyboard here I've got a visual representation of the B minor scale. Now these knobs here in the automatic tuning, these are the ones you're going to play with if you want to get that computerized auto tune effect that T-Pain and people like that use, made famous by that Cher song. But I'm not going to be using that for this track. I don't think it's going to work. There's only one knob here that I'm interested in, and that's this one here, the 4-man shift. And rather than me trying to explain what that is, I'm just going to dial it in and I'm going to let you hear, because at the end of the day, that's all you really care about, what it sounds like. Right. Okay, here we go. Volume. Okay, and I'll do a bypass. So you can hear that. You've probably heard that trick quite a few times in a lot of deep house tracks. So with the 4-man shift, it doesn't change the key of the actual sample. It just shifts the formants. Right, so yeah, for the meat of the track, I'd probably have the vocal like this, just with that 4-man shift on. I think it'll work quite well. But I'm also going to set up a few things now, which I always like to do whilst I'm still in session view, so that when I get to the arrange view, everything's just nice and quick, nice and intuitive. It doesn't disrupt the creative flow so much. So I'm going to grab an audio effect rack, open it up, create a chain, create another. So I'm going to do some parallel processing here. First chain, rename dry, Second chain, I was going to rename effects, why not? I'm going to mute the dry signal for the minute, and I'm just going to put some effects on. Now these are the kind of things that I'm going to be using on the breakdown, maybe the intro, outro, things like that. So like I say, I set them all up now just so they're just easy to get to for when I get to the arrange view, so I'm just not messing about too much then. So I'm going to go back to my plugins. Let's get a filter. Let's put this comb filter on. Now just for speed, I'm just going to get a preset. Obviously when you're doing this yourself, you can play about with as many parameters as you want just to get it fine-tuned to your own track, but like I say, just for ease of use and speed, I'm just going to get a plugin. I'm going to get the first one here. Let's see what that sounds like. Cool, I'll do. And like I said, this is going to be for breakdown, so let's have more delay. More delay. Nope, don't want it there. I want it inside the chain. And again, I'm just going to get a preset just for speed. See what that sounds like. Okay, dial that down to 1/4. Beautiful. Right, I'm going to click on this, open up my macros, and I'm going to map the volume of the dry by clicking on here to the first macro, and I'm going to click on the effect volume and click it to the same knob. Now I want it so that when the knob's at 0 like it is now, I want the dry signal to be playing at 0 dB. So up here where it says dry, which is what I've labeled it, minimum I'm going to have it 0, maximum I'm going to have it about -20, so that means when the dial's all the way around, the dry signal will be at -20 dB. And with the effects, I'm going to have the minimum as it is and max 0, so that means when the dial's all the way around, the volume of the effects will be at 0 dB. So if you look at the levels here, as I switch the as I play with the macro knob, see what that's doing there. Also going to go into the delay, open it up, click on this triangle thing here, click on configure, and in the feedback I'm just going to click it and press it, and you see this has appeared here now. Close that and click on map again, click on this, click that to there. Actually probably have the minimum about there and maximum on full. Okay, change this to levels and this to delay. Right click to give them a color. So now when I do get into arranging and I want to switch this vocal to breakdown mode, I can just use these two knobs and get some pretty cool effects. So it'll be like this. Oh, I just need to unmute the dry signal so you can hear. Try that again. So that's what it'll be like during this song, and then when it gets to the breakdown, I'll switch this knob here. And I can do all stuff like that. Okay, so back with the track. And I've also got another that again. Right, as you can hear that vocal there, it's only hitting in certain places, so there's quite a lot of space left in the track. It was just feeling a bit empty to us, so I've employed a technique that people call call and response, which is pretty self-explanatory. So basically, the vocal we've been working on here is my call, in inverted commas, and I found another vocal that fits with the track as well, and I'm going to have that as my response. So they're basically going to be bouncing off each other and filling in the gaps in the track. So we have this. Okay, so that's it for now. Thanks for watching. Thanks to all the people who've been subscribing and requesting more tutorials. Really appreciate it. The other day I set up a Twitter account. I'll put the link in the description below. So any more requests, just get at us on Twitter or leave us comments on the videos. That's it for now. Peace.